And time now for a look at your weather forecast. A cool day across the area. Brittany, much different than the heat wave we experienced recently.
I mean, yeah, just look at the last 7 days. I mean, we saw 26 days in a row with temperatures at or above 90, but last weekend, 102, 101, 102, 101 respectively, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Of course, then we flirted with the mid to upper 90s all throughout tomorrow. And then today, what a big change. I showed you earlier that our low temperature was 69. Well, we've only warmed 5 degrees the entire day. High temperature in Charlotte, 74. So we went from essentially 10 to 15 degrees above average to now 10 to 15 degrees below average. Now, if you are not a fan, we are going to see changes for the upcoming week. But if you are, I would enjoy today and tomorrow as much as you can. This hybrid cold air damming setup that we have is the main reason why we're seeing these conditions. We'll talk about it a little bit more in just a second. But essentially, we're seeing cloudy, drizzly, cooler conditions settled a little bit more close to the ground, whereas there's warm, moist air high up above. And so that warm, moist air is providing enough moisture for the drizzle, although the cold air is trapped near the ground, which is why current temperatures are at 72 degrees. Although the dew point is still pretty elevated. 65 is certainly not low, it's just lower than we have been. So these situations happen a lot when you have high pressure here, allowing for that southeasterly, more northeasterly to southeasterly wind to be wrapped around. So again, that's what's bringing the cool air that gets trapped on the eastern side of the mountains. Then you have moisture that moves in over that same spot, and exactly why we have cold air damming. It not only happens during other times of the year, but this is more of a hybrid setup because it is summer, and we don't often see this prolonged period last too long, at least again this time of the year. So 50s maybe if you're talking about cold air damming in March or April, 70s when you're talking about it in July and August. Now, something else that we're watching, of course, you can see that low pressure spinning just off the immediate coastline of the Carolinas. While that is heading away from us, we'll talk more about that coming up here throughout the show, as it does right now have a low chance of becoming something tropical. So again, that moisture kind of pushes in there, getting that cold air trapped closer to the mountains. And then again, the warm moist air goes above. That's the result. Lots of clouds, areas of drizzle, which we will expect to see those patchy areas of drizzle through this evening. You can see more so in the mountains and foothills right now. Drizzle does not provide a high risk for flooding. This is very, very light rain, enough to coat the windshield. In fact, drizzle is about a quarter the size of a regular raindrop, so it just shows how small it is. You can see a few little spritz here near Lake Wiley, up toward Gaston County, most of Mecklenburg County clear right now, but we will once again be tracking that through Union, Anson. And again, it's relatively light rain. It'll be here at times and away at times. As we head into tomorrow, we are going to see some patchy drizzle continue, but it does look like we'll see some clearing mixing in some sunshine, mainly east of the I-77 corridor. But I don't expect tomorrow we'll see as much drizzle as what we had today. So if you are going to get out and about to Bank of America Stadium tomorrow, Leagues Cup match for Charlotte FC happens. Kickoff there at 7:50. We'll again see clouds mixing in, maybe a little bit of sunshine at times by the second half of the day, but that's also still going to be a cooler day with temperatures in the 70s. There's that area of low pressure I just mentioned. It is heading away from the United States with a low chance of development. So not going to bring any major impacts to us here in the Carolinas, but eventually we'll be shifting thousands of miles away by the early half of this week. However, now that it is August, it's something we keep a closer eye on, as about 90% of tropical activity happens after August 1st. Here's that 7-day forecast. Even as we slowly warm throughout the week, every single day over the next 7, still expected to be below average.